everyone. This is a recorded version of my presentation. Since I have experienced technical issues yesterday's USPF Tech-Talk COVINNOVATED special series. Thank you so much for your support and understanding. So let's start. Okay, so my topic is all about um, practical and pedagogical approach using Canvas Learning Management System. So Canvas Learning Management System. So the overview of my presentation include a quick start, checklist for teaching in Canvas. So there are 5 steps for you to jumpstart with your creating or designing your course in Canvas using Canvas elements. And then of course, part of it is preparing to launch using a course template. So EduTech actually have designed a course template, sample course template for USPF, which of course you can edit and modify and apply it to your courses. And along with my presentation are the practical tips for teaching and learning using Canvas LMS. Okay, so quick start checklist for teaching in Canvas LMS. Step 1. First is you need to review support resources within Canvas LMS. So you have to be aware that when you log into your USPF Canvas account, there are a lot of support that you could actually get. So you just click on the help section. Under the help section, you will see support resources. So first is to search the Canvas guide. So Canvas guide. So what are Canvas guide? Canvas guides help you to move quickly uh, doing online courses or using Canvas LMS. So these Canvas guides, um, aside from the Canvas guide, in the Canvas community, so that is one of the support provided by instructor. You will see a lot of resources other than Canvas guide. So Canvas guide is a text-based step-by-step guide on how to use Canvas, to use the features of Canvas. But aside from that, we also have catalog guide, and if you want for video guide, there is also as well as practice guide. So in Canvas guide, it actually includes how to guide. So Canvas guides are categorized depending on the rule assigned to you. So in Canvas, there are different rules that may be assigned to you. Of course, you will be assigned as instructor guide for Canvas teachers. I mean, for Canvas teachers, you have this instructor guide. And of course, you can also provide this to your student. We also have Canvas student guide. And then of course, for Canvas admin, there is also a guide, as well as this observer guide. So this observer rule could be assigned to our deans and department heads so that they could monitor how the online course, how the online classes are being done. So this could be used as in replace to faculty observation to monitor, to make sure that the quality of education is being promoted and observed even in uh, digital learning or either online, flexible, remote learning. Okay. So for Canvas guides, you have this instructor guide. Another resources. Okay, so you have this resource link now for all the Canvas guides in the Canvas community. Another resources that is newly uh, put in the help section is the USPF virtual library. So this USPF virtual library um, includes three online virtual library that we have or that USPS have. We have Philippine e-Journal. We also have Gale databases. and then we have ProQuest. So um, in the help section or the support resources, the USPF account, the username and password are being provided, as well as it will direct you to this link. So this is good if you're going to do our let your student do research work. So during this situation that we have right now, they cannot go to the school and access our library, university library. So this is the alternative, no? They can use this virtual libraries that we have. So it's actually, they can search aside from journals, they can search books, videos and audio, dissertation and thesis, and more. Okay, so to know how to use and access USPF library, virtual library, I mean, I created we have this video tutorial link. You can access it later. Okay, another next step is step two. Start planning what you're going to teach. So um, in any technology integration with your classroom environment, you have to start with planning. After you know the resources, you have to start. I mean, after you know, you were aware of the resources that is being provided to you to jumpstart with using a particular technology. The next step is you have to start planning what you're going to teach. So I have here from Guiney 9 events of instruction that include that may enhance student learning. So of course, um, first is to gain attention. So although this Guiney principles or Guiney theory is applicable in all pedagogical approach. So you just have to know how to integrate technology in it. So basically in my presentation, in my next presentation, I'll be focusing more on how you're going to use Canvas LMS to present content. And then, of course, how you're going to use the LMS as well for to let your student practice or to create activities for them, as well as provide feedback and assess their performance. So these are some of the crucial part of you preparing your online class or digital learning. Okay, so I have here four things that we should remember. First is identify a topic. So in planning for teaching and learning, first is you need to identify topic. Topic could be broad, no? So you could chunk it into topic unit project. So depending on how broad the topic is, and of course, in every topic that you will be able to identify, make sure that you also have planned what are the resources that you will be giving to your student, or what are the resources that is available, practical and available for you and the student. Next is identify your practice. So um, for the student to apply the learning, is you need to make sure that you have prepared activities, okay, for them to practice the information they are learning. And then, of course, in the practice, you need to identify the work. So, like any other pedagogical approach, online also, most especially, should be outcomes based, or the student should provide evidence or evidence based of their learning. No? So, what do you want student to submit to show they're learning your content? So, in Canvas LMS, they can actually submit online. So, and in different methods, like they could submit text, they could submit multimedia like audio, video, or they could simply send you the link to your Google Drive or any other cloud storage that they have to, of course, save time and, of course, of course, the file size of their output is also considered. And then you have to identify assessment and feedback method. So most especially in online, feedback should be immediate as possible, and it should be feedback should be regularly be provided to our students, especially that they are remote or that we cannot see them rather face to face. So how will you assess learning and or provide feedback to your learners? So Canvas LMS also have different ways of doing it. Okay, so to simplify things, you could actually create a tabular form of your plan. You start with first column is content and topic, and then of course next column is practice or activities that you're going to provide, and then of course the required work or the output or the evidence or the outcome, and then of course assessment and feedback. Okay, so once you already plan what you're going to teach, the next step is to prepare to launch using course templates. So I EduTech actually provided a sample course template for USPF. This is also recommended by most of the institutions using Canvas LMS all over the world. So this can, sample course template is can be modified depending on your preferences. So as an overview, this why is it important or um, using course template could be a great time saver for student or course designers, curriculum designers. Why? Because the design, the the structure is already being provided, so you can focus more on building your content, and of course um, building your content and activities. So in that way, um, and also course template could also um, give you a holistic approach to of doing digital learning. So in the sample course template, if for every official courses, this sample course template um, will be applied. But we actually recommend that you create a master course. So a master course is actually a course without a student enrolled. So in this way, when you have a master course, you can explore Canvas LMS features as well as import content from commons, apply template, and of course explore it, modify it, and so that you will really your technical skills in using Canvas will be enhanced. So I myself, even if been a while that I'll be using Canvas LMS, still every now and then I also explore. No, I also learn new features, new things of doing it, new ways of doing it rather in Canvas LMS. So this template, if you want to know how to apply and modify USPF course template, I also provide a video tutorial link. Okay, so of course, this template, USPF course template is the third version of the template that being provided, designed by the EduTech, which include pages. So home page, the one you see, this one, the home page, and other pages, module pages, guides, and of course, it also actually have embedded modules. So the embedded modules include Canvas instructor guides. So Canvas instructor guide. These are your guides. So this is not seen by your student. So this is your guide if you have problem or if you know how to use. If you want to know the steps on how to upload files, it will direct you to um, Canvas guides. So like if you want to know how to attach files or how to start using announcements, conferences, and all. Then we also have the welcome module for students. So as digital learning, it's very also crucial that you also set um, set like community ground rules, so to your student. So what are the student what are the expected or what are the things that should be expected to new student, and also the rules, no? It actually include welcome and module overview, getting to know your instructor, your rules in the class, because it actually depends, no, like what is your schedule of the time that you're going to meet, or the schedule of the time that they're going to submit the deadline. So you have to set parameters. Now you have to set parameters in your digital learning, especially that um, the face-to-face is of course not possible right now. And then the course communication, because communication is very important in any digital learning or online learning platform. So like, how are they going to contact you, and how are you going to, also if they're going to ask questions, what are they going to do, and other setup and other support like mobile access, Canvas mobile app. So please encourage your student to download Canvas mobile app because it's very handy, and of course um, it's easy for them. Most of them actually have mobile. And then of course I also added the learning resources, virtual library, like credentials in every courses. And then the next is, of course, a sample module guide. So this is actually structured into presentation, and then of course you do your discussion, assignment, and quiz. So this is just a structure, but you can actually modify it. You could add, you could change the content there, or the guide, as long as you have to take note that you start with presenting your content first, and then providing practice and activities, and lastly providing feedback and assessment. And then based on the guiding principles, the 9 event, you could also integrate those in your module. Modules could also be in a weekly basis or by topic. So it's actually depend on you. So to use this, you have to duplicate this module, and then you start building it. So of course, whatever you plan, you do it in a way you can actually publish it later. So in that way, you have a lot of time to prepare. So I'll be providing a video tutorial. There's a video tutorial for each of for this, just focusing on the sample module guide for your reference. Okay, step 4. So now that you know the resources, you already planned, and then you have uh, launch and apply, no? Apply and use the course template. The next step is to build and manage your courses. So I have your practical tips. So first is for present content. You can actually use and edit page or pages using rich content editor. So just like this. So pages could be modified, and of course make sure that you will not be forget to publish it once you want the student to see it. So you just have to click edit button. Once you click edit button, you can now edit the title and then the content. So since for the rich content editor, you can add images, you can add external links, you could also add videos from YouTube, and of course modify things. So we just have to structure it. You start with introduction, and then your presentation, and then perhaps overview of the module or to-do list. Okay, another way to present content is use discussions. So discussions could be graded or non-graded. It could be a group discussion or peer review. So I encourage you to really have a variety of activities, not only that's individual activities, but also have them activities that give them a chance to also collaborate, to communicate, to react on the work of their student. In that way, the feeling of being isolated uh, is be minimized, no, minimized. So we really encourage that your activities should be varied. Of course, you can integrate other tools, and and use Canvas as your central repository, or this the main location where the student can actually access those. So going back, so you can use discussion. Discussions are also editable. Just have to make sure that when you do your group discussion, you set guidelines. And of course, in that template, there is a technical support. So please do not delete the technical support, because this will guide your student on um, how to use discussion. So if you want to edit it, modify it, you click edit. Same with most of um, us. Same with pages, announcement, assignments. So you modify title, and then of course, once you're done, do not forget to save it and then publish it later. Another is you can upload files. So in our traditional classroom, most, if not most of our topics are already, we already have our resources, right? Like we created a PowerPoint, or we have a document, or you can also do recorded lectures, just like what I'm doing. And then you arrange these files at Tipsit, arrange files using folders. So in the sample module, you just have to click the add, and then under add drop down, you click file, and then of course you click new file. Then you choose file. It will, you browse your file in your device, and then once you already selected the file, click add item. So this will be automatically be viewed by your student. So um, in this way, less preparation is uh, less preparation rather on your end. So if you have, again, if you already have those multimedia presentations, um, you can, the one of the quickest way to present content is to upload it as files. And then you could also, if let's say you came across this informative external resources and you want to use it, as long as it's there's no copyright issues being involved, you can actually link it or add it as external resources. So you can also add internal link if you have. So what you're going to do is click add, same with how you do it in uploading files. Click add external URL. Then of course you have the URL on the page, and add item. Okay. Another support we provided by Canvas is this Canvas Commons. So I hope that you already explored it. If not, I encourage you to really explore Canvas Commons. You can search and import content from Canvas Commons. So you can actually uh, access Canvas Commons in the section there. So just above uh, help section is the Commons. Okay, so it's just like a search engine, like just like Google, but it's actually more on what are the available content in our Canvas. I mean, in the all institutions using Canvas LMS, and for example, then you type in the search box or text box the specific topic, perhaps, or specific modules or quizzes. And then you could also have use the filter, click on filter. If you want to be specific on what, again, you click on filter. If you want to be specific on what you want to search, like if you want to search only courses or quizzes perhaps, or modules, or discussions or pages. And then of course, um, that's it, no? So let's search. Okay, so those are the practical tips on presenting your content using Canvas element. Next is practical tips for practice and assessment. So what are available, no? You could create assignment. So assignment is not limited to really purely assignment. It could be an exercise, as long as it is something that is graded and something that you want your student to work on. So for online remote learning, um, one of the option there in Canvas, although it's not just the option, so they can have, you can uh, have, you can submit it face to face, no, or kung kaya, so like courier something, sinasabi nga ni Ma'am Sue. But in Canvas, we have online option, so they could submit, they could provide them the different ways on how to submit your work. So you can have text entry, like for essay perhaps, or something, research paper, or something, you have questions there and then they want to ask, reflection, something, you can have it text entry. Website URL, like you want them to research on specific topic, no, or basically a link to their cloud storage, Google Drive, Dropbox. So most of the student actually knows that, so they could simply give you the URL link. That will save their time. Or if you want, you could have audio or media recording, and of course file upload, so like document presentations or spreadsheets, and even PDF file. And on the file uploads, you can also restrict what file they are going to submit, and even images, no? Okay, so to start it, you have to create assignment under assignment section. And then of course, in the sample module guide, there is an example assignment assignment guide there. So in assignment, usually the rule of the thumb, you should have an overview and then guideline. Then you give your instructions. No? So in assignment, you have to set points. And of course, the submission type is there. No? And then you could actually modify your assignment. Not only individual, you can have it as a group assignment. So later on, you can use group, no, or either you create your group or they manually created. But I, of course, in this situation, I encourage you to really, you will be the one to create because you know your student more. Or they could have the peer review. This is also a good way for them to interact, student to student interaction. Someone will review their work. And of course, do not forget that if you have multiple sections, in the under assigned to, you can assign it to a specific section. And then do not forget the due date. So in online digital learning, it would be better if you will be flexible on the date, or you have to be consider a lot of things, no, in your due date. Like for example, when you post it today, make sure that the due date is like 3 to a week, no, so that they could have more time to really. And also in your assignment, um, if we consider like the availability of internet resources, I suggest that you will let them do it offline, and then they could submit it online. And then the most practical way of submitting it, now, like for example, they could just take a picture of it. You could create them with graphic organizer. You also have alternatives, but like for example, your assignment is have them create a graphic organizer infographic. So you could have an alternative na if they don't have access to online or mga digital apps that will let them create infographics or graphic organizer, they could actually make use of pen and paper, no? And then just take a picture of it, and then of course an explanation after. So once you're done with this, you could either save it and publish it later, or save and publish it for your student to see. Okay, so this is really one of the practical ways to um, to create this or assessment. Okay, next is create quizzes. No? So quizzes in Canvas could be graded or practice quiz, or a surveys, no, like surveys graded or ungraded. So from the sample module guide, you have their sample quiz, put title, which is also editable. No? You can modify it. And then just have to click on edit. So you have the quiz type. So other options there is time limit, shuffle answers, or even have the access code. No? And then of course you need to create your question, but the questions will be also uh, be saved in your question bank, so you can actually reuse your questions later. As well as the options for the questions are there are a lot of options, like from ranging from multiple choice, fill in the blanks, matching type, essay, and the like. Okay. Then you could have collaborations for group project output using Google or Microsoft LTI, like Sir Lester mentioned that they could use Google Docs and one document, and um, uh, then student could just collaborate there. They could also give their annotation, so you can have that Google Doc. So it is available in collaboration, so you just have to choose Google LTI or Office 360. So the Google Docs actually include what kind of document, no? So by the way, for the collaboration, they need to log in to their account, to Gmail account or Google account. And then of course you have to decide on either it's a document or a spreadsheet or presentation that you need them to collaborate, no? To a collaboration. Then of course group. So as I mentioned kanina na yung assignment mo, pwede mong gawing group assignment, or they could actually have it by group. So for group project output, it's actually under people, no? People section after syllabus and people, then before file. So what you're going to do is you just have to create group set, name your group or name a group, and then you just have to add the student there. And in every group that you're going to create is they actually have the group homepage where you can visit as an instructor. So what are in the group homepage? So every student or every group are entitled for a group homepage wherein they could post announcement that only the group members could see, pages, people. They could also have discussions. They could add files on it. They could also do a video conferencing with the group as well as the collaboration. And of course, on your end as a student, as a teacher rather, you can actually supervise them by visiting their group homepage, and you can post announcement to remind them as well. No? So in that way, it is personalized based on the group. Okay, this is what I mentioned kanina. Okay, next is for practical tips for feedback and grades. So, of course, Canvas LMS is a grade book that can be personalized. So, in every assignment or Canvas activities na graded, there is a specific column that will automatically be created. And of course, you can actually personalize your grade book. Like, for example, in this activity, if you want to message those who haven't submitted yet, if you have a personalized message, because it's very important that you really communicate with them and provide them feedback. So if it been graded or scored less than or more than, you can also message them. So this is a good tips, practical tip, message to the two. It's actually a great time saver. And other options for gradebook is the viewing options, and this gradebook also could be exported. It will be exported into an Excel file, so which will uh, then be used in your to finalize the grade. Then we have speed grader. So when you're going to we're going to grade now the assignment, their output, as well as if you have essay type in your quiz, you could also do a speed grader there. So in speed grader rather, so when you click on it, it will actually, like to access rather SpeedGrader, you click on assignment, specific assignment, and then the SpeedGrader is other related items. So when you click on the SpeedGrader, it will actually view the submitted output of the student. So if it's a Word doc, automatic na mag-download or PDF. But if it's a separate file, you can download it. And then of course here is you can personalize your feedback now. You can you can use text, audio, or video feedback, and could attach files as well kung may mga annotation ka or may uh, uh, some information ka na medyo uh, mas malaki pa. So a file could be, and then of course submit, and then they could reply on your comment, and then there is now a history, a log of your comments there. So another for feedback grades is of course quiz report. By the way, yung quiz, automatic siya mag-generate ng score, especially kung objective type. For the subjective type, of course, you need to modify. You need to use SpeedGrader to check it. So yung quiz report actually have statistics. So quiz statistic, you can moderate this quiz. So quiz statistic include section filtering, student analysis, and item analysis. So like down below, we actually have here every question, kumusta man. And then you could also use learning paths to uh, personalize your statistics. So next is the course level analytics. So this is very important, or a good way to really track progress of your class or a specific student. So it's actually located below, no, the new analytics, outcomes, and settings. So Canvas course level analytics include course grade, so like this, and weekly online activity. So weekly online activity like average participation and page views. So here, and also if you want to really check on how your student, you can have specific, no? You can choose specific student, and you will see there the page views and participation. Okay, so I already give you the steps, no, practical tips on how to present your content, as well as how to create practice and assessment, as well as their feedback, how we're going to provide feedback and grade. So now after this, you are ready to launch your course. But there are a few tips that you need to remember. You need to publish. You need to publish all the modules along with content activities that you're ready for students to see and publish your course. So you can publish it gradually, no? Weekly by weekly. You plan it ahead, and then you just have to publish it depending on the timeline mo. And then for enroll your student, Canvas admin will enroll student to official Canvas courses. But you can initially add student using their student ID. You have to refer to your official class list, no, nasa AIM sa Pinnacle, or if they could study load. Pero no digital learning medyo hindi pa. So class list lang muna. And then of course, the last step is maintain connection with the student. Communicate, communicate, communicate. So communication is really important to keep track of the remote learning, to make sure that there's consistency in the remote learning. So how are you going to communicate using Canvas? You can use announcement. So announces is comes in handy. So if by the way, another tips is please make sure to inform your student that they need to add their mobile number and then notification preferences in their account, so that they will be notified if there are activities or announcement that is being provided in the course. So you just have to click announcement. So announcement could be modified just like pages, discussions, and assignment. Or you can use your inbox. So inbox or Canvas inbox actually have a restriction. You can only send students who are enrolled in your course, or you can also send message to your co-teachers so long as you have common courses, you are enrolled or you are in the same courses, just like this. Growing, I can send all teachers or students undergrowing with Canvas USPF. Then, of course, by the way, in your sending the message, you can also use the built-in media recording if you want na medyo personalized message perhaps. Wag lang masyadong mahaba yung video, no? Para hindi rin maglo-loading. Then, of course, send. And then, of course, one way to communicate to bring the app is to have a video conference meeting. You can set up conferences. We actually have Canvas partners, but it's not limited to. You can also have used any conference medium or conference platform, so long as you have to inform your student, no, or most of the students are available. I mean, that resources rather is available to most of the students. And of course, yung parang may other means sila if they are not online at the same time or real time na may replace sila, no? Or ma-record mo. Microsoft Teams, Google Hangouts, Meet rather, uh, Zoom free option, and then of course this StreamYard. And what is built in Canvas is the big blue button. So this one, so just have to use conference. So in conferences, you could share your screen. You could also, there is also a chat the way they will the student could interact, and you can see them if you wish, no. So in that way you could also share them files as well. And then of course to for easy communication, it's recommended that you as a teacher also should download Canvas Teacher in your mobile. It's a mobile app. Comes very handy. So like if you want to post a quick announcement. You don't need to log into using your laptop or PC. You just have to use your mobile, and then of course start sending announcement. And then of course the same account that you're going to use in any web browser, so your email and password is still the same in Canvas mobile app. Okay, so as a recap, no, so the quick start checklist for teaching in Canvas LMS. Step 1, review support resources within Canvas. Then next, start planning what you're going to teach. After you have your plan, next is prepare to launch using course template. Apply, use and apply course template, modify it. Step 4 is build and manage your courses. So you start with present your content, that provide practice and assessment, and of course provide feedback and grade. Then of course step 5, maintain connection with the student. Okay, so before I wrap up the my presentation, I have here the one of the framework being recommended in most of institution using Canvas LMS is this SAMR model. Yeah, in of course side by side with Bloom. So na-discuss naman ni Ma'am Su yung SAMR model, no? Like substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. So parang i-link mo lang how side by side with Bloom's, because the Bloom's is the cognitive part, diba? Cognitive theory, from remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So from lower order thinking skills to higher order thinking skills. So integration of technology integration can be enhanced, no? From if you want enhancement, that is under substitution and augmentation, and then of course transformation is under redefinition and modification. So I have actually a sample here. How are you going to apply it in Canvas? For example, Under component number 5, digital content and instruction. Now, teachers will know and use appropriate digital tools and resources for instruction. So, under substitution, um, teacher will use Canvas content pages. So, it will just substitute the traditional way of providing presenting lectures, or you could link student to external website, just like what I mentioned a while ago. Under augmentation, you can use Canvas assignment, of course, to check on their knowledge, to discussions and quizzes, to check for them to apply their learning. And then under modification, you can use LTI tools in Canvas to bring external apps into their Canvas spaces, and they can do collaboration and group work. And the redefinition provides students with a range of submission options when creating an assigned assignment in Canvas. So, dun sa online, maraming option, no? And of course, this is one. If you want to know Canvas Mastery Path to provide learning pathway for students, this is also a one way to track, no? Kung sino yung na-reach na yung outcomes, sino yung hindi pa, or as a class or specific student. Okay, so just remember that teachers' role will not be replaced. No, teachers plays a big role in making any online, digital, blended, or any digital learning possible. No, um, because uh, teachers will really, the role of teachers is to make sure that there is student will be able to achieve learning outcomes, or um, the learning, the content or the activity that they provide will be suitable for the student. So just remember that student success equals institutional success. So as a, which teachers actually have plays a big role uh, in this endeavor. Okay, thank you. So if you want uh, support, no, so you can email me at mjmoran@uspf.edu.ph or edutech@uspf.edu.ph. So if, for example, you want if you want to request for a video or a step-by-step guide, just like what other instructors are doing, simply message me through Facebook. That's my name. Search me, or you email me. You email me your inquiries, your requests, especially with related to using educational technology or integrating technology uh, in your class. Okay. Ano ba yan?